So yesterday, I was on the phone with the IRS. I just, I wanted to have some clarification on a date things here. I was told my taxes wouldn't be due until October. Then I get a letter saying, you got to pay your taxes on June 23rd. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not, you know. So there's this whole bad, you know, determined bad situation in front of me. And so, of course, I called the IRS and I'm online. I'm on hold for like 15 minutes. Then my phone call gets dumped. And then that set up the precedence of the day, right? It was like, I stopped counting after 18 times of being dumped. Talk about just beating your head against a wall. And the funniest thing is I know better than this. I know that the minute I come up against a closed door, not to keep trying to force it, because in that moment, I could have asked myself, okay, am I acting out of fear or love here? Am I being inspired to call them, or is there desperation? Now you can try and convince yourself that it's love. You can kind of, but honestly, when it's an inspired call or an inspired move or whatever, you don't have to convince yourself of anything. When you're trying to convince yourself, when you're trying to figure it out, it's always fear, it's always desperation. Lesson learned. So the thing is sometimes you're up against a deadline or you're up against something that can't help but move you into that space of desperation. And now you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to analyze, you're calling up your life coach or whatever. The thing is here, guys, every circumstance is a bridge that's leading you to your dreams. Okay. Every single one, every single motherfucking one. You don't know what's behind a circumstance. So in my situation, circumstance was nothing's going my way. My phone calls constantly being dropped. But the thing is this, I know the universe never drops my phone calls. The universe has never dropped the ball with me. The universe has never dropped my phone calls ever. The universe knows exactly what I want. The universe knows exactly when, where, how, why. And it's never going to go, well, you're not vibrating right today, so I don't want to interact with you. I'm hanging up the phone. Universe never slams the door on you. I might slam the door on you. Universe never does that. Okay. You don't know what's behind a circumstance. So, you've heard me say before, be so strong in your convictions that your circumstances don't stand a chance. Well, in my situation yesterday, circumstances bulldozed me and splatted me into the ground. By the time, oh my God, I started calling them at 8. By the time I think it was 3 o'clock came around and I had the umpteenth phone call dropped, I just was like, I knew what was going on. I knew I was bucking the flow. I knew it, but I couldn't stop. Each time I was like, well, I'm going to try again. I knew my actions, my phone calls were not coming from inspiration at all. I wasn't inspired. Inspired is like, I'm outside working or whatever. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta call the IRS. And it doesn't feel like, oh, I gotta call the IRS, because you hear those letters, IRS, and everybody's like, but it's not. That's a reflection of you and what you're thinking. So if I was going into this phone call from the space of, I always talk to great people. And by the way, every person I talked to yesterday was fantastic. They were so nice. They were so sympathetic. They were so awesome. Every single one of them. So I could focus on, I keep getting my phone call dropped, or I could focus on that. I kept getting really nice, very friendly people giving me lots of good advice. I kept getting that. The world didn't end. And the thing is this, I always know that every single interaction with life is a bridge. They're always bridges leading to this next bridge. And this bridge is leading to, you know, Neville Goddard says bridges of incidents are leading to your dream, right? But I think even your dream is a bridge, you know? That meant something to me, but I wouldn't be able to explain to you guys. Just this, exactly what I said. You don't know what's behind a circumstance. You don't know why the universe, you know, had you turn right when you thought you were supposed to go left. Had you come up against brick walls when all you wanted was to have your phone call answered in a nice, easy discussion. And you know, it's easy for me to start going, okay, well, what am I thinking? What am I believing about the IRS and the government? What am I doing? And I could revise it and I could change it, or I could just take a deep breath and just go, time's not right. Time's not right for that fortuitous interaction. And I know, that fortuitous interaction with someone at the IRS always follows the inspired action. Always. No if, and, or buts. I've got every flip. I'm sorry, I got to turn off my alarm before it goes off in the middle of the video. Every single time. Every single story I tell you guys arose from an inspiration. That whole crazy airport situation at Christmas. Oh my God. That getting the $500, you know, for finding that dog. Total inspiration. It's always inspired. Always inspired. Every fantastic, when I forgot my wallet. When I mean, some of you guys know the story. I went down to the store far, far, far away, get down there, and my wallet's gone. And all of a sudden I'm inspired to do out of thin air. Out of thin air is just, you know, you're revising the whole situation to make something poof out of thin air. And it worked. And it was an inspired, you know, action. I just felt inspired to try it. I'd never made anything poof out of thin air that I was aware of. Why not try it? So once again, is your motivation to do something coming from desperation or inspiration? Is it coming from fear or is it coming from love? Because where you're coming from is where you're going. You think I was actually going to get, even if I could have gotten through to somebody yesterday, it probably wouldn't have, other than the nice little operators I was dealing with, I probably wouldn't have gotten the hell yes, that, oh, this is our mistake. Go ahead and you don't have to make any payment until October. I'll make sure it's in your file. It's all taken care of. Don't worry about it. Do you think I would have gotten that answer from, oh God, I've been hung up on 10 times now. Oh my God, I'm on 18. I lost count after 18. I keep getting I thought I turned that sucker off. Apparently not. Wrong one. Whoops. Right? Come on, I don't need to go hash that out. I don't need to play actor for that scenario anymore. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. There's no way it was going to happen, that I was going to get the answer I want. Answers come, the answer you want. So in that moment, we could say my dream was that I would be told, oh, our mistake. That was my dream. But I was trying to force that dream, wasn't I? I was calling, phone call got dropped. I was calling, phone call got dropped. I was calling, phone call got dropped. And so my dream was to have the answer I wanted. But because I was going into it out of fear, it wasn't going to lead to my dream. You don't want to do that to your dream. You don't want to walk across the bridge of fear to your dream. You want to skip across the bridge of love, the bridge of inspiration to your dream. Because that means when you get to your dream's just going to sparkle and be even better and more wonderful, right? So in these situations, when you're coming up against a brick wall, what I call a brick wall, which is you're not getting anywhere, just stop and just go, Oh, am I acting out of fear or am I acting out of love? Was I inspired to make this phone call? Chances are not. Because, like I always say, you don't have to justify, you don't have to rationalize, you don't have to figure out. When it's a hell yes, it's always a hell yes. It just is. There's no if, and, or buts. And the universe has never, ever, ever dropped your call. Your call, which is your dreams, your desires, your wishes. You have a billion of them all day long, guys. That was one of them. I don't want to have to worry about money until October, paying my taxes until October. That's my dream. That's that current dream. Sometimes my dream is I just want my coffee. And, and then all of a sudden I'm inspired to go do this or go do that. And the cup of coffee is going to be delicious and wondrous. But if you're trying to force, if you're trying to go into it out of desperation, are you meditating? Are you sitting there at night going, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful out of desperation? What do you think that's going to lead to? No, guys, you're inspired to say, isn't it wonderful? You're inspired to do a meditation. You're inspired out of love. I am not a lover of meditation, so I'm probably never going to be inspired to meditate. Though there are times where I'm so tired, I just want to sit here or actually sit in the jacuzzi. I'll go meditate in the jacuzzi any day. That's a given. That's just a yeah, hell yeah. So try to remember, guys, when a circumstance is arising that is not reflecting happiness, it doesn't feel like love, it doesn't feel like an inspiration, try to understand that that's just a big red sign that the bridge you're on, you walked onto that bridge from a space of fear or a space of desperation. That's all it is. It's just a sign. It's just a sign. It's just a signpost saying, fear, fear, fear. That's it. It's not a big deal. You didn't screw up. You didn't mess anything up. Life has always got your back, and the universe will always, always take your call. Never, ever, ever are you. And when I say universe, who am I talking about? YOU, universe, bigger version of you, whatever you want to say. All right, guys, this was fun. What do you think? What came up for you in this? Sorry if I'm messing with the screen and screwing up I don't know if it's screwing up the recording on your side or not, but it sure screwed it up on my side. All right, guys, take care. I'm going to go get my hair done. Bye.